President Aquino is urging the people to cooperate fully with the government in the spirit of bayanihan to deal adequately with the challenges posed by the current El Niño phenomenon. The president issued the appeal after Pag-asa warned that the full effect of the dry spell will be felt in February and March next year. He assured that measures are in place to deal with the projected worst-case El Niño scenario. Here's Elena Luna with more details.
Malacanang gave assurance preparations are in place when the full effect of the El Niño weather phenomenon takes place in February. President Aquino led a special cabinet meeting today to discuss the El Niño action plan.
Preparations are in place to deal with the worst possible El Niño scenario. The full effect of the current El Niño phenomenon will be felt in February and March 2016, when the entire country is projected to get only 20 to 30% of normal rainfall. According to DOST Pag-asa, the projected worst-case scenario may potentially exceed the most severe El Niño conditions experienced in 1997 and 1998.
PCOO Secretary Sandy Coloma said rains brought by Typhoon Lando last October helped increase water supply, particularly in Metro Manila. During the meeting, the President outlined 4 priorities of the Cabinet Task Force on El Niño.
President Aquino directed the Cabinet to exert concerted efforts to mitigate the impact of El Niño and to prioritize the following. 1. Adequate supply of food and potable water. 2. Stable power supply. 3. Minimize health risks to citizens. And 4. Fire prevention due to increased humidity.
The Chief Executive directed the Department of Agriculture and the National Food Authority to increase the buffer stock of rice. The NFA Council has determined that 300 to 400,000 metric tons will be imported to augment local rice production. The President also instructed DA and NFA to provide the necessary support and assistance to farmers and vulnerable sectors by distributing planting materials and cash for work program. Moreover, he gave specific instructions to other government agencies.
The National Water Resources Board is coordinating efforts with concerned government agencies to heighten water conservation and to construct additional water catchment areas, as well as water sanitation and hygiene facilities nationwide. The Department of Energy was instructed to intensify the interruptible load program, deploy modular generation sets, especially in Mindanao, and expand the energy efficiency conservation program to lessen forced power outages. The Department of Health will undertake immunization for the elderly, provide psychotropic drugs and antifungal medicines, and extend additional support through PhilHealth, public hospitals, and health units. The Department of Interior and Local Government and the Bureau of Fire Protection will acquire additional firefighting equipment and will work closely with the local government units to ramp up information and advocacy campaigns on fire safety and prevention.
The Chief Executive urged the public to cooperate with the government in the spirit of bayanihan. Malacanang gave assurance concerned government agencies are monitoring the situation to prevent unscrupulous people from taking advantage of the public. For the People's Television, Elena Luna.